Hey guys, it's your number one favorite math teacher, Emma. I wanted to cover some of this stuff before tomorrow. So let's start with the first part. So we're classifying. So if we take a look down here, it says general conics, ax squared, bxy, cy squared, dx, ey plus f. So this is where I'm looking at down here, okay? So this can be any of our conics. When you see that they're parabola, there's some with x squared, some with y squared. This one has x squared, y squared, okay? Now if you take a look at just the parabolas, there's no squared for y, no squared for x. So parabolas have just x squared or just y squared, and circles have they have both of them. They're going to have x squared and y squared. So let's take a look through here. So if I take a look right here, I see it says x squared right here, y squared right here. I know that's going to be a circle. Let's take a look over here. I have a 2y squared. So I have a 2y squared right here. I do not have a x squared anywhere, so I know that's going to be a parabola. Okay, if we take a look at the next one below, I see that this one has a 4x squared and a 4y squared. That's going to be a circle. And for the last one, I only see an x squared right here. There's no y squared, so that's going to be a parabola. Remember, these are supposed to be grade boosters, something quick to identify, but also that later on when you're identifying hyperboles, ellipses, and you continue on to higher levels of math, you'll kind of be used to this general form, okay? All right, so I'm actually going to duplicate this page because I want to do kind of like part one, part two. So part one is going to be equation. And then part two is going to be graph. So I'm actually going to make this a little bit smaller because we're going to be focusing on the equation, okay? So step one. And then don't forget that my steps are also over on the wall. So step one is rearrange x and y to be next to x squared and y squared. So it's going to be x squared. I'm going to move this by this and this by this. Okay, great. So x squared plus 2x plus y squared minus 6y plus 9 equals 0. Great. I combine my x and x squared, and I combine my y and y squared. And then the next step, step two, is we're going to get rid of our constant. I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides. So it would have looked something like this. That got canceled out. Okay, great. Now the next step is we're out of 4 boxes. So we're going to add 1 box here, 1 box here, and 2 boxes right here. Okay, so that's going to be step 3. Step 4 is we're going to find the coefficients. So we're going to take coefficient is the number in front of the variable. So this could be coefficient of x and y divided by 2 squared. Okay, so for this one, it's going to be 2 over 2 squared, which is 1 squared, which is equal to 1. Same for this one, negative 6 divided by 2 squared. That gives me negative 3 squared, which is 9. And then I'm also going to be putting the same numbers on the boxes on the right. What I do onto one side of the equal, I must do onto the other. So plus 1 plus 9. Okay, And then the next step after that is to, now that we filled in the boxes, we can place our parentheses and simplify the constants. So we want to put it around the trinomial, the x squared something x, and then the constant plus our y squared, our coefficient with y. It's a negative number, negative 6 plus 9. And then 9 minus 9 is 0, so that cancels out, so I'm just left with 1. Okay, now we're going to do our perfect square binomial. It's going to be x, and then it's going to be coefficient of x divided by 2, and the parentheses, the squares on the outside. The plus or minus is from the coefficient. It's going to be the same that's going to go in this parentheses, and you do the same for y. Okay, so right here, my coefficient is 2, so it's going to be x, positive 2, so plus 2 over 2, squares on the outside, plus my coefficient right here is a negative 6, so y, negative 6 divided by 2 squared is equal to 1. Okay, now we just simplify. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so it's x plus 1 squared plus y minus 3 squared is equal to 1. So remember, if we go back right here, our standard form for our circle is x minus h plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So I'm going to write that down one more time. Okay, great. Really important thing, you can see that this is a plus 1 right here. Right here is a negative. If I replace my 3 right here, that matches. Y minus 3, my k is 3, it matches both of these, right? Does not the same for this plus. So in order to get a plus right here, it means we have to be subtracting a negative number. So same as saying x minus negative 1. Now I can put my negative 1 into here, and it matches x minus negative 1, x minus h has to be negative 1, okay? So my h is negative 1, my k is equal to 3, my r squared is equal to 1, so if I take the square root of both sides, r is equal to 1. Great, so I'm going to put that on my next page. So this is part 2, graph. Okay, so the HK is negative 1, 3. This is our center. Okay, and then our radius is 1. So I'd say first things first, go to your center. Negative 1, 3. Okay, and our R is 1, so it means I'm going to go up 1, down 1, left 1, right 1. Okay, does it need to be perfect? No. Are you going to try your best? Absolutely. Something like that. So that would be the drawing for this one. So same thing, this is going to be part 1 for the equation. Okay, part 2 is going to be our graph. So let's go back to our equation first. So I'm going to do step 1, and I realized in the last one, I think I stopped writing the steps. You don't have to have necessarily the step orders, just kind of knowing the steps is the most important thing. So the first thing is I'm going to rearrange the x's to be next to the x's and the y's to be next to the y's. Okay, it's going to be x squared minus 4x plus y squared minus 8y plus 11 equals 0. Okay, and then the next step I can do is I can erase 11 from both sides. I'm sorry, because it's a negative, we're going to be adding 11 on both sides. That cancels out. So I get x squared minus 4x plus y squared minus 8y equals 11. Okay, now after that, we can go ahead and add our boxes. So, and these are all adding. Okay, great. So now we take our coefficient of x and y, divide it by 2, then square it. So coefficient divided by 2 squared. Negative 4 divided by 2 squared is negative 2 squared, which is 4. Okay, and for this one, negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4 squared, which is 16. Okay, so the next step is that we filled in the boxes, right? And then we can place our parentheses and then go ahead and simplify the constants. So x squared minus 4x plus 4, keep those in parentheses. Remember, we're going to trinomial with our squared, our constant, and our variable. That gives me 31. Ooh, what am I doing? Hold on, guys, bear with me. Okay, needs to get smaller. Okay, sorry, guys. Oh, you know what? I'm supposed to plus this here. So this actually would be a subtraction 11 on each side. So this would be a negative 11 right here. Negative 11 plus 4 plus 16. That's going to give me plus 4 plus 16. It's going to be a 9. Great. Yep. Plus 11 here, plus 11 there. Okay, perfect. So now we're here. So now we need to create our perfect square binomial. Okay, so we're going to take our coefficient divided by 2. So it's going to be our x or our y. And then it's going to be coefficient of x divided by 2. Then on the outside it's squared. And then for y, it's a coefficient of y divided by 2. On the outside it's squared. So for right here, it's going to be x squared Okay, so it will be x, the coefficient of x right here is -4, so -4 divided by 2, squareds on the outside, plus y, our coefficient is -8, -8 divided by 2, squareds on the outside, and then we keep our 9. Okay, now we just simplify. -4 divided by 2 is going to give us a -2, so x minus 2 squared plus y, -8 divided by 2 is -4, so -4 squared is equal to 9. Let's remember our standard equation. So it's x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Notice how on here both of these have a negative number, right? -2, -h, -4, -k. That means my h is just 2. My k is just 4. Okay, let me erase all my little red scribbles. So hk is equal to 2, 4, and our r squared is equal to 9. If I take the square root of r squared and the square root of 9, that gives me that r is equal to 3. So we're going to the next page. 2, 4, r3. So our center is 2, 3. And then, 2, 4, and the r is 3. 2, 4, and the r is 3. Okay, so I go to 2, 4 right here. That's my center. And then I'm going to go 3 to the right, 3 down. Doesn't matter which order, up, right, down, left. Just make sure you do at least up and down and right and left. 3 to the left. Like I said, order does not matter. 3 up, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me approximate this. Okay. Wow. What a beautiful circle. Okay. So that would be the graphing portion of this.